This video is about finding the kth term in a binomial expansion using our binomial theorem. So here's our binomial theorem. We've already established this as our combinations that tell us the coefficient, right? And then it's x to the n, and then you descend it. So -1, -2, -3, -4. So if you pick out any of these, they basically create this. You can see that it's a 3, and then a 3 and a 3, a 2, and then a 2 and a 2, a 4, and then a 4 and a 4. So we end up with this. And what our alpha is that number that we're plugging in. So our alpha here would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start with 0. So this is our alpha, right, that we plug in. And if you notice, for term 1, we plugged in 0. For term 2, we plugged in 1. For term 3, we plug in 2. So our alpha is actually 1 less than whatever term we're on. So if you want the 6th term, you're plugging in 5, like this. So if we have the 6th term for x plus y to the 12th, we know our degree is 12. So we would be plugging in 5 for it. And so 12 take away 5 is 7, and then it's 5. We plug it in, and we would end up with this. So let's try one. We're going to find the 8th term. So if we're going to do the 8th term, that means our alpha here would be 7 that we're plugging in. And our degree is 21. So we would have 21, choose 7. And then we put our x and our y, right? So the first one would be 21, take away 7, and the last one is 7. Now the nice thing is when you finish this, we already knew that every single term in a binomial expansion, they all will add up to 21. So we have 21, choose 7, and then this is x to the 14, and y to the 7. You can see 14 plus 7, they make 21. So now all we have to do is 21, choose 7 in our calculator. So remember, it's math. Scroll to the left to probability, number 3, 21, scroll over, put a 7, and there is our coefficient. So 116280, 116280, x to the 14, y to the 7. And that would be our 7th term moving into our binomial. All right, so now a little bit trickier one. Find the term of the binomial expansion x plus y to the 7th with a power of x to the 4th. So we need this, x to the 4th, and then y. And so we're using that same basic idea that these both add up to make 21. See, 7 plus 5 is 12. Each term will always add up to give you that power of our binomial. So if that's a 4, then what we would have to have over here is 7 take away 4. That would have to be 3. And then now what number do we plug in here? We already know that our power is 7, so that goes there. So let's go back and look. If you notice, if that's a 7, we put a 7 here. If that's a 5, that's a 5. Whatever that is, it's the same as that one. They go together, right? 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, and so on. So if that is a 3, then that is a 3. So find the term of the binomial. We already know it's got to be x4y cubed. So now we just have to plug in 7, choose 3. And there you have it. It's 35. And there you go. There are our answers for these two different questions. So they'll either ask you to find the 8th term or 10th term or whatever it is. Remember, it's always 1 less. If they give you a power, they are also telling you what term it is. Because if it's degree 4 for this, we know it's a 3. So we know this is our 4th term. All right. Thank you.